Yo, yo. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the first episode of NoTv. What's up, everybody? For those who don't know, my name is Brittany. I am the A&R coordinator, community engagement coordinator here at Airbit.
Yes, and I am Kwesi. Kwesi got it. I am Kwesi Young, artist producer, also Discord and community manager at Airbit and advisor. I am honored to be here, to be connecting with my partner in crime and good times. Appreciate you, Brittany. This has been a lot of work, right? We've been working really hard. We've been doing a lot of things in the last few months, but this has been the one thing that we decided to move forward on, and is making a podcast together.
Yeah, it's funny because it started as like a small idea, right? For those who don't know, No TV kind of came from Music Business Monday, which was initially strictly to Discord, um, but we wanted to kind of have more of a reach. We found value in people being able to play the episodes back, um, and we wanted to be able to kind of talk and dive a little deeper in certain subjects. So we decided to do the podcast, and I'm not gonna lie, when we made that decision, I didn't realize like the amount of work, that was gonna go into it. Like just the smallest details matter, you know?
Right.
And this is really cool that it finally happened. And I'm really excited. Even with this being the first episode, I'm sure that we are going to learn so much in this first season, this first episode. And I'm really excited to see how you and I grow like as a team as we move forward with No TV. So before we even dive into this any deeper, I just want to say thank you to you for pushing me to do this, joining me to do this, partnering with me to do this, and just for your support and your help with all this. Because there's absolutely no way this would be, No TV is not only is as much of mine as it is yours. So I just want to start off by saying I appreciate all of your help and support um, to leading up to where we are now, and I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah. Well, hey man, it's great to start with gratitude and appreciation. And yeah, happy to be here. So what is No TV? Should we dive in to just kind of
Let's
break it down, let our listeners know what's up?
Yeah, so No TV is a podcast that's highlighting different music industry news, business trends, music producer culture, and marketing tips for music creator economy. So, what are some of the things that we're going to be discussing a bit?
Yeah, so to your point, I think this is a music centric podcast that is focused on dissecting culture, analyzing trends, and interviewing experts with invaluable insights. And this is really built around and through the Airbit community, the Airbit brand and business, Airbit.com. And this is like, it's kind of like a convergence of a lot of different people that have come together, and we've gathered a lot of information, and there's a lot of knowledge that happens from all the staff that interacts with producers and artists on a day to day. But there's so much information out there. It's get you into a podcast so that you can always refer to what we do, and what we actually record, research, and put together. So that's kind of what's happening here. But Britt, you want to explain a little bit about what Airbit is?
Yeah, so for those who are new to the scene, not familiar with Airbit, we are a music tech platform, and we empower music makers. We pioneer new technologies. We're focusing a lot on community. We really, really love our community and try to build our community and put them on a pedestal as much as possible. And we also provide really dope monetization tools that help our producers make money. Very, very important. Um, and the vision of Airbit, we are looking to kind of build a music industry where technological innovation disrupts the traditional barriers, right? So we're eliminating biases, we're creating equal opportunity for all music makers, which is super, super dope. And we see a creator owned music industry where music really speaks for itself. And I think that that is something that's super valuable and needed, um, especially where we are today and where we see music going moving forward.
Right. Well put. Well put. I've actually been someone that's been down with Airbit for a long time. I heard Airbit way back in the day. I've been a producer that's been selling beats since I was like 14. That was, you know what I'm saying, getting some fresh J's, you know what I'm saying, from selling like 4 or 5 beats, a beat CD for like 300. You know, you 14, you ain't like, no one's
Ah,
working
that's
at
smart.
14, but I was working, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like I have my own money over here throwing my mom a couple hundred bills, like, hey, what's up? You know, what you
So this
drunk? You
beat tape.
drunk dealer? Yeah, kinda. But like I've been doing it for a long time. At first I was on like SoundClick. I was putting music on SoundClick trying to sell beats through SoundClick, and that was back in like 2004, 2003, like, you know, so it's been a long time since then. And Airbit first was my flash store. If any of y'all been a producer for so long, you know, check it out. Like the history uh, of Airbit has been around for a long time, and so it was my flash store. Eventually evolved. They had a rebranding, changing of the name to Airbit within the last few years, but has kept the legacy going strong. Shout out to CEO Wasim. Wasim,
Hey,
yay!
hey.
Wasim had the vision of solving a specific problem for himself. Was like, how am I going to sell my beats online? And then ended up offering that as a service to other producers, and that evolved into this business, into this industry, where there's different players that are playing in this. But Wasim's just been a true entrepreneur from the jump, and never slowed down for this long. He's kept the dream alive and the vision alive. So it's just an honor to be a part of the team and to contribute to such a dope product. Airbit currently right now per month, if you're to purchase annually, is at $7.99. That's cheaper than Netflix. Honestly, like, to invest in yourself for under $100 for a whole year, to have a year to build a whole business around your own beat store, around your own licensing. If you want to license to anybody, really, you can amend your licenses. You can change them to for creators or YouTubers or whoever wants to license your music and use it, collaborate with artists and get placement. You have a place to house your stuff. So empty your hard drive. If you sitting on some beats, you don't need to sit on some gold. They have an Infinity store where you can white label your own domain. You have a YouTube content ID, so that you can collect royalties of anybody or anything that uploads your beat to YouTube, and you can manage those rights based off of whoever is has copped the license or not. They have platinum rewards with a lot of different partners,
Super
vendor.
dope partners.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's some really great partnerships that are happening, and they're going to keep happening. So you can check out your platinum rewards once you're a platinum member. We have a community Discord that's
Hey.
steady popping. Brittany's in there. Search by Sound Creator Hub, where you got articles. You have everything you need, and we have our live events as well. Fire Beat Friday and Beat Battles going live, and there's probably going to be some more down the line. So yeah, so that's what's going on with Airbit and the platform. But this platform and this podcast is actually powered by one of the platinum rewards partners that we have, and that's Presonus Audio.
Yeah, shout out to the folks over at Presonus for really lacing us with some super dope podcast gear. We have the Revelator IO series. We have these dope headphones, the dynamic mic. They also have the Studio One 5 software that's really cool. So definitely check out Presonus for some podcasting gear and just overall really nice gear. Kwesi, you've used them in the past, right? Or you've used other stuff in the past, and then tell me
Yeah,
about the comparison.
yeah,
'Cause we're talking about
yes.
this.
Right. So I've been an audio head and a gear head for a minute, and it's crazy when over the years you definitely develop an ear and you can tell when something is like not so hot in quality, and you're gonna have to do a lot of work with it in post. But I mean, out the box, the Revelator series is serious,
Yeah.
and it's serious for your price point. And Brittany, I know you got the hotkey on your Revelator, so if you ever need to say anything that needs to be heard,
Ooh, that done messed up with this giving me this mic. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. But no, seriously, for talk about so, quality at an affordable price. This is like really good quality. I was extremely impressed when I was unboxing this, and was just definitely taking some notes and working on the video on that because this dynamic mic, this is the PD 70. It's coming. It's actually a really great mic. I'm really excited with with the way you can EQ it. They're GUI for the Revelator backend, so you can have internal audio coming in. This is the perfect streaming equipment. I've used other streaming equipment. There's like a lot of latency. This is quick. It's smooth. The audio comes clear, and you can redirect to different channels. I can go for days on it, but yo, shout out to Perry and all the folks at Presonus.
Appreciate you, Perry. Appreciate you, Presonus.
Yeah,
Thank you.
straight up. Yeah. So what are people gonna be experiencing here on this podcast, Miss Brittany?
And a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So let's go through just a quick breakdown on what to expect on the weekly basis. We're gonna have about 4 different segments. The first segment is called "What's Poppin'." So "What's Poppin'" is gonna be just an update on current events that are going on in the music industry. So this could be an update on different programs. This could be an update on artists. This could be an update on producers. Just things going on in the music industry that we think are entertaining that we want to talk about. So that's what's popping. Next, we have Fresh Look. As an A&R, I'm always got my ear to the streets, looking to see who's coming next, what's the next best sound. So Fresh Looks, I'm going to take a little dive into some emerging artists and producers that I find on the weekly basis. This is probably going to be one of my favorite segments of the show, and I'm really looking forward to kind of introducing you guys to some new sounds on the weekly basis. Next, we have Digital Dash with Kwesi. He's going to be breaking down some different music tech and different products in the music industry. You saw how hyped he got about Presonus earlier. So basically expect more of that in the digital.
You're gonna expect her shooting. That's
in the digital dash. And then last segment we have is Run It. And Run It is probably going to be the meat of our podcast, but that's where we're going to dive into some different marketing segments, some educational segments, breaking down different things that we think are, like we said, important in the music creator industry. If we have any guests on, we'll do interviews during the Run It segment. So yeah, Run It is going to be popping. But yeah, NoTv in general is just going to be popping all day. All right. So first we got What's Poppin'. So, Beyonce, let's talk about it. Beyonce announced she's releasing a project, 16 tracks called Renaissance. So broken down into 4 different acts, and she's already given us one single, Break My Soul, which I love. I love it. Have you heard the song?
Oh yeah. You be breaking out in song, singing it
I've been singing this.
every few hours or so. Break my soul. Out of nowhere. Yes. Right now there's a global wave, right? You can catch, like, obviously house from Chicago to London to even South Africa.
Detroit.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
House
Excuse me.
originated in Detroit, and a
Did
lot of
it?
people think it's
Where are you from, by the
Chicago.
way?
I'm
Where are
from
you from, by the
Detroit.
way?
I'm from
Okay.
Detroit. So House originated in Detroit, and then it got moved to Chicago, and then Chicago. And I have a lot of homies from Chicago. You know, I got family in Chicago. I love Chicago, but I think it's so funny how Chicago tries to claim House, and House is from Detroit. Like, we neighbors, you know what I'm saying? Y'all
It's,
can enjoy the cool side of Lake Michigan because we don't get the cool side of Lake Michigan. It sits on Chicago side, and that's dope. But House originated from Detroit. I just want to
that is true.
highlight this.
Yeah, it's a music history right there for you. Detroit. The D is really where house really originated. That's true. I've seen a few documentaries myself. Probably tag some in the description. But yes, like, this wave of seeing of this kind of up tempo, upbeat. Obviously, Beyonce's always on the wave, whatever the wave is, and carries it and pushes it. Even like right before it super takes off, she just kind of gives it a nice little love tap, and then it's everywhere, right? She did that with the Afrobeat um, uh, Lion King soundtrack.
Mhm.
What I felt like the Black Panther soundtrack could have pushed towards. Like, I ain't hating, but it's like, what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like the Afro African American. Like, we caught a wave on that one, but Beyonce's always catching waves. This one was dope. What you think about this record?
I love the record. I have very high expectations for this album. I mean, first of all, it's Beyonce, so it's gonna be great. I don't mean to say that like I don't have like it's not gonna be great, but I think it's gonna be very rejuvenating. I feel like we're about to get like something that we are so excited to hear and sing. Like, it's not gonna bring us down. This is about to be a really I just feel like this is about to be a really uplifting, high tempo, happy feeling album that we need. I hope it has a lot of dance in it. I hope it's not all dance. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the dance wave is what summer 22 is about to be. So
Yeah.
so from that standpoint, I'm excited to hear a little more dance on this album. But yeah, I think this is about to be like a very fun summer album. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see if she tours or if she like performs
Mm.
after this because let me tell you, we have not been acting right, and I feel like she's about to stay in the house. She's been to we've seen her at a few outings, and I feel like every outing she's at something. She went to the Dave Chappelle show, and that was the
Oh,
one where the guy ran the
oh
stage.
yeah.
And then she was at the Oscars, and then Will Smith went up on stage. It's back. So I feel like she's probably like, see, they've been in the house for 2 years, and now they don't really know how to act. So she's probably rethinking giving us a tour. We'll see how that goes.
Look at you
But
zooming into Beyonce's mind real quick.
I,
Like, oh,
you know,
y'all
because if I was
playing.
her, I would be like, y'all can have this fire album, but you're gonna have to create the images in your head because I'm not coming outside with y'all. That's how I would be. But I'm not Beyonce, so she could show us a little more love than I would.
I could see her doing an exclusive, like like a concert music video live kind of thing one time for the live
Yeah,
audience,
and then it
and then
premieres everywhere.
it's on like
Yeah.
Netflix or something like that. You know what I mean?
That would be
I don't
smart,
know.
actually.
Yeah,
That's kind of the
yeah.
new move is to like perform or like to live stream your events. Like I feel like honest days of like going to all the festivals for me are probably over. Um
In every way.
because yeah, I mean, I felt like there was like a strong pre-pandemic. There was a couple years where it's like I didn't really miss too many festivals.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like now they're all yeah, like you said, live streamed on Apple or on Netflix or Hulu, and it's like I can enjoy this from my couch with my snacks.
to get your snacks, your drink.
Yeah, I gotta walk nowhere. I don't gotta pay for parking, so it's I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what she does. We'll see what she does. Yeah, but I love the single so far. I'm super excited for the album. Yeah, it'll be a good
Big
time.
moves, big moves. That's real. Okay.
All right, so next up, I gotta say I'm a little disappointed with this next article. I want to tap into Double XL's freshman class for this year,
Mm,
and I have to say I'm not too impressed with this year's class.
mm.
Um, Now, before I dive too deep into this, they do have my girl in this who I need to say, Doechii, congrats, girl. So happy
Yes.
for you. Like, I saw her at Coachella. Um, Killed it.
Mm,
Killed it. I'm a big Doechii fan. I love her energy. I love everything she brings to the music scene. I love that she's with TDE. I'm super
mm,
excited to see how they help build and mold her career. And she's somebody who I see having a career. And,
mm.
3, 4, 5 years from now, I do think that I will still be listening to and talking about Doechii. That's kind of where the line is drawn for me. In regards to the rest of these artists, I I don't know. I'm not really impressed with this year's class. Are you familiar with a lot of the people in the class this year?
I will be 1000% um honest. No.
So
It's
have you not heard their name? Have you not heard their music?
I've
Combination of both?
yeah, a combination of both.
Okay.
To me, I think to me, my goal is to also learn from this podcast too, and
Mhm.
also learn. And it would be nice to do a playlist of what records got them onto Double XL,
Right.
and just get a nice little fly through. But one person that I did get chance to have an intimate listen is, due to the fact that my blood family is also on TDE. Shout out to Devin Malik. It, I got put on to Doechii really early and was like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, y'all better watch out. Like that's shit, that ain't nothing to play with, right? No, yeah, do, Doechii. I call her Doechii and Nirvana. That's that is Doechii. She, so not only can she sing and
Mhm.
write, she can rap and
Mhm.
attack, and she can she can slow down, speed. Like she has
And
an
she can
unlimited amount,
perform.
and she can
She
perform
can
her
perform.
ass off.
Like, way she changes her personality is actually so she performed Crazy at Coachella, um, during Isaiah Rashad's set, which again, shout out to TDE for just, like, I love when I've always respected that about that label because I feel like they are very, family oriented and really, like, work to, like, put their artists on and, like, whenever just the way, like, Kendrick kinda bigged up SZA back in the day before she, like, became the SZA we know now. So I just really like how they always do that. But her performance, like, just the way she was, like, moving her body and her facial expressions and, like, she was serving. She was serving. You don't really always see that a lot today, in today's performances. So, yeah, not to cut you off, but sis can perform her ass off.
Yeah. But I cannot knock everyone who makes it. Like, and to me it's like, if you made it to Double XL freshman class 2022, congratulations to, all the cats
Yeah.
from Baby Tron, Saucy Santana, Babyface Ray. Like, there's a couple faces and literally a couple faces up in there, but there's a couple folks that I have heard of.
Mhm.
Haven't really got too familiar with the music, but if you've worked hard and got yourself in this position, like, big ups to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's also kind of like a weird time. It's a weird time because you can't really flex all of who you are, especially within the last 2-3 years. It's like with the pandemic and everything going on, it's like, how do you really get yourself out there and, and perform in front of folks and really express yourself and gain a different type of notoriety? So I think
Yeah.
that can also affect the fact that we weren't really in the know of any of these folks. Like if they weren't on touring circuits the way, what I'm saying, other folks was on touring circuits, pre-pandemic. So just
I
pointing
hear
that
you
out.
on that. I hear you on that. I feel like so I know some of these artists. I guess my thing is that, when I think of the past freshman classes, I feel like the ones in the past have really made impacts and have built careers. Respectfully, I don't see myself listening to Nardo Wick 5 years from now. And I don't know what type of career he'll have 5 years from now. He's not to say that he's a one-hit wonder per se, but, like, I don't know. Same thing with, like, Saucy. I feel like this with a lot of these artists. I'm like, are you going to still be relevant 3 to 4 years from now? I always refer back to that class. Who was it? Was Schoolboy Q, Joey, Travis, Logic. Like, think all those names from that one class are still making music today that we listen to, that we look for. These are big name artists. And I just don't really feel like any of these artists on this list are going to have that type of impact. Now, they could absolutely prove me wrong and I eat my words. And, like, if so, kudos to them. The other thing is I'm also trying to think, like, if I could take one person off this list and add someone on, who would that be? And that kind of goes back to what you said about, times have been different, and it is harder for artists to kind of get out there without being able to tour and go on tour and perform and stuff. How are they able to promote themselves and properly connect with their fans and build their fan base? So I do understand that. But yeah, I can't lie and say that I was very impressed with the class. And I haven't been able to say that for a while. Usually there's like 3 or 4 artists that I'm like, all right, they absolutely deserve. There's people on here I know, but I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Babyface
Yeah.
Ray is out of Detroit though, and I do like him. I think he is kind of the next big thing out of Detroit. So shout out to him.
Yeah, and it's
But
also there's also a newer sounds, right? So
there
um
that too. Yeah. That
yeah.
too.
So, but I feel like there's a lot of factors that could have played into how it played out. But I don't know. Maybe we might look back at this first episode, and be like, "Yo, remember we was talking all that smack?
I hope
Yo,
so.
they just went
I
right
love
through it."
when, like, yeah, I love when, like, I don't want to say when I'm wrong about music. That sounds weird, but, like, you know, I'm always one to admit when I make a mistake, when I, say the wrong thing. So if it comes down to the fact that listen, 5 years from now and we in the club and Saucy Santana got a bop out, and if I think it's a bop, I'll say it. I'll be like, man, I remember when he made that freshman class and I was dogging homie, and now look at him, proved me wrong. But until then, this is the hill that I'm on. This freshman class
Oh,
is not all of that, and that's where I
hey,
stand.
there you
And shout
have
out to
it,
my
man.
girl Dochi.
Hey, don't cheat.
All
Yeah.
right, so moving on. I thought this was interesting. ASAP Rocky did an interview. I can't recall who this interview was with, but he said that rap as it is currently in a state of adolescence, and it's been stuck here since Soldier Boy. That
I do remember hearing that clearly. Uh,
and I think that's very interesting. He said before everyone looked 35 and up, when Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, T.I., Jeezy, Ross were on, rappers looked old. Like we had Little Bow Wow and that was it. That all changed with the internet and self-releasing. Now rap is stuck in a braggadocious adolescent space. It's not as mature.
Uh,
That what are your thoughts on that?
yo, I mean, look, man, ASAP,
I do
man,
think he said this because he's like, Lord, pretty fucking jug your name. Like
yeah.
he's like, you're not the
He's
most
like,
mature friend. I like ASAP. I like ASAP, but like, all right.
yeah. But I think ASAP is a tastemaker. Is someone that he's gonna last. You know what I'm saying? Because when you when you listen to ASAP, when you listen to Rocky and then the whole ASAP mob, like you listen to their music evolved with the times. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I feel like they were young. With the shot by range,
Oh,
shot.
that was my jam.
Oh, they took their wave took over. They're like, no. We know what it's supposed to sound like, but they know what it's supposed to look like and feel like. I think Rocky understands aesthetic. He understands pushing the
Mhm.
boundaries of the art form. He understands not settling. Yeah, he could say whatever on a track and do his thing, but his beats got to be something out of this world. He's got to take you
Right.
on a journey. The videos, like people just make music videos. It's like fast food now. It's not like they taking their time on creating something that's aesthetically pleasing. I think Rocky understands the culture and the state of the culture. And when he looks around, because he's been around here for 10 years, right? You look at the Tylers that have been around for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like they're really the tastemakers. When you see their art and you listen to their raps, like there's a lot of growth in there. There's a lot of like they become that. And when you look at just like the general industry, being able to self-publish and put yourself out and get some shows and get a publishing deal and get going, like you could do that fairly young, like.
Yeah.
And from and it's crazy, like young cats is doing it, man. You've seen the
And it
rise
wasn't
of.
like that. It wasn't like that back in the day, right? Like independent artists weren't as big back then. It was like the goal was I want to come up, I got to get signed by somebody. And then once I get signed, I'll be able to do X, Y, and Z. And now artists are like, I don't need to get signed. I don't want to get signed. I can go hop on SoundCloud and do my thing on SoundCloud and get my sound out there, market myself on Instagram, use TikTok, use all these other social media platforms to put my own music out there. And if I build up enough following, I'll catch on. And like so many younger people are doing that I mean, maybe it isn't as mature. Maybe it's
Yeah,
not, like it's,
it's the volume, and they're young.
it's,
They ain't lived enough life to spit or like to think about things and create stuff of like really like substance and balance. Like it takes. I mean, Jay Z's first album was at what 25 or 20.
mhm.
Twenty
Like you
five.
have a lot of people, what NBA Youngboy has probably released, I don't even think he's 25 yet, and he's released like 10 albums.
10 albums.
There
Like,
was like a period this year where we had an NBA Youngboy album every
every
week.
month, every week. It's like
Like
the
it's wild.
yeah, like yo, like it's like the volume. But then
Mhm.
that's also, I mean, that's also it could be a catch 22 when you sign a 360 deal too. So
Yeah.
it depends. But yeah, I do feel that way. I also do feel like it's matured a lot too, because when you look at albums like Mr. Morale,
Mm.
it's a big
That's
step.
2006. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. When you look at like albums, Tyler, right? Tyler's latest, the one with his ID on the joint. What's the oh,
Which
tip of
one?
the tongue? His
Igor?
latest. Igor was amazing. That was that was after that. Uh,
Oh,
uh,
the one he did, Call Me Now If You Got Lost?
yes. Oh my God! Like,
Fire.
come on, man! Like, and
Fire.
think about the most. This is the same dude did Goblin talking wildness. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
even him, even Tyler has grown. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
it's like, either you get in, get a couple of hit singles, and then you out, or are you built to last? You know what I'm saying? And so the ones that are still here are the ones still giving us mature hip hop. Like,
That's fair. That's fair because I do. There was like that big wave of like SoundCloud rappers who first came out, like Lil Pump. Nobody's really talking about him anymore. Like he hasn't really put out anything. You know what I'm saying? There's also some that we've lost, who I think now their music probably will stand the test of time. You got like Juice
right.
World,
Yep.
what's his
Pop.
Triple X? Yeah, Pop
Just
Smoke.
Pop
Um,
Smoke.
so I
Triple
think
S.
I
Tentacion.
yeah I
Yep.
think those are artists that um who Rocky could be referring to, maybe who aren't as mature, but I think their music will last a long time. So I don't know, catch 22, but I did think it was interesting. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Solid article.
Yeah. And then the last thing I just kind of wanted to update everyone. I thought this was pretty cool. YouTube just launched a hub for songwriters and producers. And so it's basically a place full of resources for songwriters and producers to kind of help build their following on YouTube. So you'll be able to kind of learn how to market yourself, how to engage with your followers, how to grow your audiences, all through the power of a YouTube channel. So if you're someone who puts your music on YouTube, definitely look into that. I think it's a cool new. I think a lot of platforms are doing that. Spotify just kind of rolled out their In Focus artist resource database. SoundCloud has something pretty similar. So I think this is kind of a new move for a lot of platforms because they realize that independent artists is a growing thing. You know what I'm saying? And people need help, people need resources. So why not, put something together and kind of help your community grow? Because that's only going to help your platform in the long run. So yeah, songwriters, producers, check out YouTube's resource hub to kind of help yourself get going on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right,
Next up.
fresh looks. Hey. So, like I said, this is probably going to be one of my favorite segments here. Fresh looks. We're going to dive in and talk about some new artists, emerging artists. They're not always going to be new. When I say new, doesn't necessarily mean that they, just hopped on the scene last week, but maybe they just aren't that well known yet. So I want to bring some light and shed some light to them, which leads us to our first artist. His name is Vory. Have you heard of Vory?
Vory. You be getting them hidden gems.
So Vory, born in Houston, but he's from Kentucky. Grew up in Kentucky, and he's actually a Grammy award-winning song artist and songwriter. Um, and he reminds me so much of honestly, a lot of the Toronto kids, like so the
Mhm.
Weekend, Party Next Door, Nav, like all those type of vibes. He actually started his career as a songwriter, and he wrote for Drake. He wrote for the Carters, Kanye West, Bryson Tiller, just to name a few. And then he eventually signed with Meek and started his solo career under Meek Mill's label. So he recently released a project a few weeks ago called Lost Souls, which I've been listening to nonstop.
Mm.
And I really like it. Like he definitely gives me like older Weekend vibes, like Thursday, House of Balloons. Like he has a really nice voice. Um, and he debuted as number one on the Billboard's Heat Seekers chart, which is pretty cool. So
Mm.
just a few of the tracks that I really enjoyed off of this project and in general, Lost Souls. He's got a song on there or the track is called Lost Souls. He also has another song on there called Mind Games. And then he has a song on there called Do Not Disturb. And that one's actually featuring Nav and Young Blue. And I really love that song. Him and Nav complement each other very well. So, yeah,
Uh,
that's a really good project to check out. All of our emerging artists that we present to you guys on here, we're going to be building a playlist on Spotify. So, we'll link that in the description. You guys can check that playlist out, check out the artists, give them a follow, give them a listen, see who you like.
mm.
Next artist I want to tap in. This girl is amazing. Her name is Luna Elle. Have you heard? She's 17.
I
You
have
heard of
heard of
her?
them.
Okay, cool. She's from Canada, and she actually emerged onto the scene last year. She released like 4 tracks last year, and she dropped an EP this year called Loss of Valuable Energy, which if you like break down the acronyms, it spells love, which I thought was cute.
Mm.
But she has a really, really dope voice. If I had to compare her to anyone, it would probably be her.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, and this is not to say that she doesn't have her own voice, but she just has that like strong, soulful, like just a beautiful voice. I love what she sings about. Um, and yeah, she's somebody who I'm definitely going to keep my eye on. Few of the songs from her that I really, really like: Too Deep,
Mm.
Distant.
It's fire.
Too Deep
I've
is
heard.
fire. Yeah. And there's another song she has called Why that I really
Mm.
like.
Mm.
Glad you heard of her. All right,
Yeah.
last artist I have, Kaash Paige. You heard of her?
Yeah,
All right.
my cousin be bumping Cash Paige.
Okay.
I need to do some justice. I need to do some justice to dive into Cash though, for
Yeah,
real.
no, so I had really I first came across her during the pandemic actually because Don Toliver put out Heaven or Hell, and she was on the Euphoria track on that
Mm.
song. And every now and then there's like those features, right? That you're just like, who's that?
Who was
That's low
that?
key. I want to say that's how I heard Doechii, because Doechii was on
Isaiah Rashad.
Isaiah Rashad. Yeah. And I remember being like, who's that? So
Who
yeah,
was it?
that's kind of how I felt like with her. And yeah, she's been out for a little bit. Like she's put a few things out, but I feel like she's starting to really step into her own. She recently released a project called 24 Hours, an EP, this month actually. And there's a few songs I like on there that I really, really like. She has a song called Love Songs has been remixed with her and Six Black.
Mm.
Love this song. And then I also really enjoy the Euphoria song with Don Toliver and Travis Scott. So yeah, she's definitely somebody. See, and like I don't know, I feel like she would be great for Double XL's
Double XL
freshman
freshman.
class, But maybe that's coming. Maybe it's coming.
Yep. Coming
Yeah.
soon. I
So
can see it coming soon though, for sure.
I can too for honestly all 3 of these artists. So yeah, that's what we got this week for this week's emerging artists. Like we said, we'll definitely put their tracks on our playlist. You can check that out in our description.
What we got? What we got next? Hit that
Digital
digital
Dash.
dash.
Digital Dash.
What's up? Kwesi here, producer, sound
You already
designer,
introduced yourself.
engineer. So you know I'm gonna hit you with some good stuff. Hey, don't worry, I'm setting it up. I'm setting it up. I'm telling you, it's the first time I'm hitting them with a digital dash. Let me
Okay,
reintroduce
okay, my
myself
bad,
to
my
you.
bad, my bad.
Oh, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so look, Digital Dash, this week I'm gonna tap into one of our platinum partners, one of the platinum partners of Airbit. I actually swear by this specific product. This company is on the up and up. It is called Beat. If some of y'all probably have seen Beat, some reviews on YouTube of what they're doing. Basically, AI, artificial intelligence, is the future of music production. I'll tell you that right now.
Mhm.
Being able to get your workflow smoother and be able to pump out more volume of beats at high quality levels that reflect your taste is what the future is going to look like. Kanye once said 5 beats a day for 3 summers, right? Imagine 25 beats a day every day, just like, and they're pretty good. That's really where the future is going to go. It's going to go into being able to leverage artificial intelligence to be able to collaborate and have basically a computer learn what your taste is and help you create it faster and more efficiently. And I think Everbeat is on that train and heading in that direction. They released Melody Sauce 2. This is the second version of Melody Sauce 1, where they made a lot of great tweaks. And I know they're going to continue to work on this engine. There's an infinite possibilities. There's an infinite possible combination of what can be created from this software. It's a complete melody creation tool. It first was like a MIDI plugin, and they only like did a output that was only MIDI, but now it's audio as well. They have their own sound engine with over 100 sounds. Sounds are pretty good. I would say they give you a good baseline to what you can create with, but they also have a style mode that allows you to kind of I don't know if they algorithmically have trained their models to learn what kind of syncopation applies to specific genres, so that the AI software actually generates something that's close to the melodies of like hip hop or trap or EDM house. But I've played around with it and I'm like, oh, I'm about to be cranking out these sound like nobody's business, because so once you tweak with it a little bit, there's a couple settings that you got to tweak with until you land into a place where you know what you're doing. But once you get there, you just literally click a button a few times, and I would say every 4 to 5 you get fire.
That's
And then
solid.
every 4 to 5 clicks you get fire. I mean, and then everything in between you could actually make it fire if you just edit it a little bit, right? But if you're talking straight out the box, like you just got to click it about 5 times. Every 5 times you get something fire. That's my opinion. That's me playing around with it. But it really harnesses the power of AI. They have a phrase builder engine that can help build melody phrases based off of what key the track is in and what you're playing in. So this is one of many AI products and companies that I'll be pointing to and talking about and just kind of doing a deep dive. We'll have a link in the description so that you can check out Everbeat and what they got going on. And if you do become a part of the Airbit fam and you're a platinum user, you will have some access to platinum rewards and stuff. And so please definitely check out Everbeat and also come to our events. We might be giving out some free licenses. Shout out to the Everbeat team. They hooked it up, and I am definitely going to be upgrading here on out.
Geeking out over there. Geeking out over there.
And
All
today's
right.
dash is very technical. How to get it, but really that's the future, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's like how do I leverage technology to help me do what I do better, faster, right, and
Right.
at a higher level of quality. And I think that's really what the future is going to be like, is being able to get your ideas going, and using AI technology to help you get there faster. So yeah,
Oh.
that's your digital dash for the day.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Well, that takes us into our last and final segment of the show. This week, we're taking a deep dive into the world of TikTok. So I gotta ask you, Kwesi, what were your initial thoughts of TikTok? I'm gonna ask you first before I share mine.
Just
Like,
like the platform in general.
yeah, like when you just heard like it's new. Like when you saw when you saw a few TikToks, or you like, what were your first thoughts? Like, what were your
I was like, oh, another Snapchat.
that was literally that was what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I remember being like, yay, another social media platform.
Right.
Cool.
Vine 2.0. Okay.
Yeah. And then it made me think, why did they get rid of Vine? I loved Vine.
Yeah, everybody loves Vine.
Like
There's
Vine
still
was
videos from Vine on YouTube that you can
so
watch.
solid.
Vine,
Vine was
Vine
so
was
solid.
right. Did
Vine was
was it? Did Vine get? I don't know. I'm not gonna speak too much to it. I gotta do my research before I speak to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so what are your thoughts? So that was then. What are your thoughts on TikTok now? Have you like kind of grown to like it a little more? Are you still not really into it? What do you
Yeah, no, TikTok is a straight up community, and I think for me, what those I want to say it was like maybe at the height of the pandemic. I think I got off I got off of work early. No, I was supposed to get off of work early, but it was like 4 p.m. And I just took a break and I went on TikTok. And I was just like scrolling. And I was just like, oh, this is a pretty cool app. And I'm just like following people. And then all of a sudden I looked up and it was dark and it was 8 o'clock. And I was like, I've lost 4 hours. Did it, what? I was like, yo, okay, this is really not to be messed with. This is
Yeah.
for real. This is a real app. Because you don't realize that you're watching 30-second clips.
Because they're 30-second clips.
They're 30-second
And it's like it's
clips.
so fast to just keep swiping. I've done the
And you,
same thing, like sitting on the couch and I look up and I'm like, dog, it's like dark. I don't notice that it's gotten dark because the natural light is gone. My lights are not on and I'm in the dark watching TikTok videos like a weirdo.
yo, right. So you can see the power in it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the creativity, right? You've seen
Mhm.
people, one of my boys said like, one of my boys said like, if you're like, if you live next to someone that like is like a TikToker, you're gonna hear all kinds of random noises. You're gonna feel like
Oh, for sure.
someone's murdering somebody on the other side of the door. Like cops pull up, knock knock. Like, everything okay here? Yeah, I'm
And
just
it's
feeling
I was
TikTok.
making a TikTok
Like, what?
for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
dope.
lots of value. Lots of value.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we're all obviously aware of like the opportunities and the importance of having a strong social media presence, especially being creators and working in the music industry. And with there being a ton of social media platforms in the way that you present yourself, it's kind of important to know how to do and what to do on which platform, right?
Mhm.
So, kind of did some research on my end, and I wanted to kind of discuss different TikTok post ideas and kind of highlight why they would be beneficial to the community. And I'm going to kind of go through the list. If you hear anything that you would like to add on to, expand on, please feel free to share your thoughts.
Gotcha.
Cool. All
Yep.
right. So the first one is super simple. Share a snippet of your song. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I think the way that you can kind of make it more creative is probably like picking like your favorite lyric of your song. You know what I'm saying? Or show a video of you dancing around, bopping around in your room to your song. Something that kind of shows you and your organic nature with your song. But I think that's a super easy way to promote your music through TikTok. Like probably the easiest thing to do in all
Right.
honesty. Cool.
Yeah.
So the second thing, creating a duet. So I think that's pretty cool. And I think a dope bonus from this is that if you're a producer, you have an opportunity to find a vocalist or a rapper or some kind of instrumentality to feature on your next song. So make a beat, you know what I'm saying? Leave room for a verse and then turn it into a duet before posting. And that will allow other people to hop on your beat and post it as a duet. You can share your music. You can see who's listening to your music, who's vibing to your music, who's also creating to your music. And that's another good way to kind of put your music out there and get some feedback on it.
Right. Great. That's a great point. I think this is actually the future, right? Because duets have literally become what's happening on whole apps are designed to duet, right? There's bars, the app
Mhm.
bars, like Voisey, right? Is the app, right, that you can upload and people can do duets on top of your beats. So it's like you
Yeah.
got two, three singers doing duets on top of your beats. A cool thing to do as well to take it further if you're a producer is um to create a loop and invite producers to do a duet by
Yeah.
sampling your loop, right? So then it could be a producer collab too. Invite an artist from there, right? And
That's dope.
see
Yeah.
how far you can take it by just making those duets. I think the play on duets is going to be an innovative turn for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so the next thing I have is to share some resources. And I think this is really important because this is a good way to not only gain your audience, right, but also to educate your audience. So there's going to be some days, obviously, where you may not have any music that you want to share. Drop a helpful producer or artist gem, something that you've learned in the past that has helped you that you want to share with the community. The best way is to make it organic and to have this be something that you've already done, because that way you can better speak on it, you can better promote it, you can better push it. So sharing your knowledge obviously can help grow your community, and then it can also help lead you to more tips and more gems down the line. So I think this is something that's really beneficial that more people should take advantage of. And I think on the flip side of that, another important thing to do is to ask a question. And this could be like a general topic that maybe you want to learn more information about, or this can be like a specific question. But I think the more general you make it, the more like different perspectives you get on this, the more people are going to answer your question, the more people are coming to your page, the more eyes you're getting on your page. They're scrolling through your page, they're looking at your music, they're looking at your beats, they're looking at you, right? Like everything that you're posting, you have to think that they're not only coming to your page to look at that one post, but they're also looking at all of your posts before that. So I think posting a gem, or excuse me, posting a resource, asking a question is a really good way to get eyes on your page, to get them to answer that question, answer that post, read that resource, and then check out all of your additional information and content that you have.
Facts. Yo, there's hey, you are firing off right now.
No.
No, because it really makes sense. A lot of folks get kind of stunned. I'll be honest, like your approach to TikTok has to reflect something authentic to you in order for it to
Mhm.
be successful, right? You don't want to be forcing it and forcing content, but these are great ideas to like set people up for how to approach writing out your strategy for how you can approach TikTok. They try to say like it's good to post at least once a day. If you could do 2 or 3 times a day, every day, you will get followers on TikTok. It is the easiest follow. It's the easiest place to get followers if you're consistently on there. And that's the thing. A lot of people post, but what do you post? And this is really like Brittany's really hitting us with some serious,
Because who
serious
can like
how to
you
think
may
about.
not have a beat, you know what I'm saying, every day ready to go out. Like I know that like producers sit on music, but like you just also may not have it that day. Same thing with an artist. Like you just may not have a song that day that you're ready to like let out. But you always have some knowledge that either you're ready to give or that you receive that you can share that can be useful. So I just thought that was like a really cool thing to do that's like we like to say, low lift.
If I hear that term one more time, I will cut myself.
But okay, so moving on. So another cool thing I thought, and I thought this was really interesting, is use a trending sound. So this is really cool because this can help get your video to the For You page, which is like the main page on TikTok. So what you want to do is take a trending sound and then use it in your beat, or if you're an artist, like use it in your video, and then this will help boost your eyes. This will help get that specific video to your For You page, which will again then help get other people to the other content on your page. You see how that connection works there? So I really like that. I think TikTok is it's a lot of work. Like there's a lot of work that has to be put on TikTok. Like you said, you got to post at least once a day. But there are ways to get around it where you're not necessarily having to create new content every day. And I think that this is one of those things similar to the last one in sharing a resource that can be done kind of easy and help bring a lot of eyes to your page if you do a good job with it. The next one we have, produce a cover. I mean, this is like pretty self-explanatory, but TikTok was essentially built on creating like really dope, bomb, short form content. And so I think like, why not create the best part of a cover song as opposed to producing the full cover, right? So this is a great way to not only showcase your production style or your singing talent, and target your fan base of artists and producers that you admire. I remember reading something about someone like kept doing a cover to, I want to say it was like Peaches, Justin
Mhm.
Bieber's song, and
Uh,
he ended up like reposting it.
mm,
And I feel like he's not the only artist that's done that. Like, I think this is a great way to get noticed by artists and other producers. I've heard it with producers too. Like,
mm.
people will like do a cover to a beat, like recreate the beat, I should say. And sometimes it ends up being like, I don't necessarily say better than the original, but it's done in a way that's similar to original, but not the exact same. And like, artists and producers take notice to that.
Right.
It's a
Yep.
good way to showcase your creativity as well as the fact that you can recreate something that's already really dope.
Right. And tag them. You never
Absolutely.
right. It's
Absolutely.
just yo tags is just traffic. It's directing traffic. So
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Next, we got break down a song. For producers, the way I'm thinking of this is you're more so building your beat. And I think this is one of the best ways to market your music while also providing value to others is showing how you created your beat. Um, Not everyone is experienced. You're going to have a lot of people coming to your page who might be new. And to kind of give something like that, essentially a tutorial on how you created your music is dope. And that will always create traffic coming to your page because people always need somebody to learn from.
Mhm. And it's so interesting to watch the behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
You hear like a beat or you hear somebody constructing a beat and you're trying to hear all the elements and then see how it all comes together.
Yep.
Yo, it's the easiest things to keep your eyes on if you want attention and people to actually acknowledge that like, oh, this is dope. Like just dissect your stuff, break it into pieces. And that's easier. That's easy content, man. It's
Yeah.
easy.
For sure. So the next one we have is tell your story. And I really like this one because it kind of takes you out of music for a second. And it allows you to get really authentic and organic with your fans, with your viewers, with the TikTok community. It'll give people an insight into who you are as a person, as opposed to who you are as an artist or a producer. Now, I'm not saying that you necessarily have to show them the ins and outs of your day, although that could be cool, right? But you can provide a story behind your music. You can showcase or talk about how you got to where you are today. You can kind of show your studio, like maybe you got a cool studio setup. Anything that kind of takes you out of showcasing your music for a second and just kind of giving us an insight into who you are as a person as opposed to as an artist or as a producer only humanizes you a little more and makes people want to kind of come to you and come view your stuff a little more because you're somebody now who they feel like they can relate to a little more. So I think that's a very important one.
Facts. Faceless brands do well as well. Like a lot of people, you can get into that your faceless brand bag as well. But
Do you think that takes
extremely
more work?
it does.
Yeah,
I feel like it does because it takes a little bit more strategy. Like
right.
if you have a great strategy, you know what people look at and you know how to edit, you know how to get it super on point, then you can have a faceless brand in that sense. And it'll work. But it takes
Yeah.
a lot of strategy there. One a simpler way is to show your face, and people really do respond to your face.
Mhm.
That's just natural. That's what humans do. We find faces in clouds. We find faces in grass and soup. Like what? That's probably the easiest direct connection you can make to someone, especially if you're making music. They need to put a face to the sound. So, facts.
Yeah. Another one that's kind of similar to that is showcasing your cover art. And so when I say that, I think this is super important, especially for independent producers and artists. And it's not necessarily just the cover art to your music, but also maybe how you created your cover art, right?
Mm,
Maybe give a behind the scenes look at you planning a photo shoot or
mm,
a behind the scenes look of designing your merch. Behind the scenes content is super valuable and dope on TikTok. It does really, really well. And this can be done as like for someone who, like you said, we were just talking about the faceless brand. This is perfect for that. If you're
Right.
not into showing your face, this would be something perfect for that.
Right, your process. If you don't
Yeah,
wanna show your face, show your process.
exactly.
There's a couple folks on TikTok that I've noticed that they show their body, but they don't ever
Mhm.
show their face, but they do interesting things. And so, that's it's all about your strategy, but process. That's if you wanna default to, like, I'm just anxiety, I don't wanna show my face, or I'm on a
Yeah.
run, man, the feds is after me. Okay, alright, man, just show your process.
Right.
For my man on the run on the run. Just show your process. It'll be good. I'll
I really wanna tell y'all about For My Man, but Imma save that for another episode. I'ma save that for another episode. Alright, moving on. Moving on. Share performance clips. So, we're kind of stepping back into the real world. We're getting out there. Shows are happening, concerts are happening, festivals are happening. Show yourself, promote yourself, show yourself. If you're out there doing shows, have, a videographer, have somebody take video of you performing on stage. Such an easy thing to post on TikTok. And to kind of let people know, hey, I'm coming to your city soon. Check me out. This is my last show. Boom, boom, bow. So I really like this one. I think this is definitely something that people should take advantage of now that we're back outside. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is unreleased beats. I think this is super cool because TikTok really gives you the ability to experiment with releases and you get immediate feedback from your following, right? So you can post snippets of an unreleased beat that you're working on and you can see how fans react to it. You can kind of post a side by side and ask people to vote on it, see which one is a fan favorite. And then from there, see, all right, this is the one that I'm going to finish. You know what I'm saying? So I think posting unreleased beats outside of giving people a sneak peek to your music kind of can help you decide, is this the road that I want to go down? Oh, nope, everyone's vibing with this one a little more. Maybe I want to give this one a little more attention today. So I thought that that was a cool one.
facts. Yep.
Cool.
You firing off with this TikTok go to clock, yo.
Gotta do it, gotta do
TikTok
it.
clock. These
All
are all
right.
but I think these are 8 tools that you can use to build your TikTok strategy as a musician, right? These are 2 angles or 8 angles to allow you to just figure out who you are, what you want to do and how you can create clockwork out of it, right? TikTok goes a clock is like how do you create the clockwork to where you could just do it every day or every other day. I know I'm taking this advice, and I'll let you know how it goes, Brittany, once I get my
Ooh,
TikTok.
what if you became like this crazy like influencer on TikTok?
Hey, speak it into existence. I receive it in the name of Jesus.
Hey man. That's funny. All right. Here's a few ways to organically grow your account. First of all, hashtags. I think we all know this, but like use hashtags, popular hashtags. Now, I will say I think it's kind of annoying when producers especially like tag mad artists in their tags and it's like all these artists don't relate. Like there's no way that like Beyonce and Young Thug and Soulja Boy and Eminem are all gonna ever be on the same beat. So like don't tag all of them. You see what I'm saying? Like make it make sense, but use hashtags. They're
Yeah,
very valuable. They are very valuable. I just want to throw that out there. Sometimes I'm looking for stuff and I'll look in like the hashtag and I listen to the beat and I'm like, well, this does not sound like that. And I go look at the tags and I'm like, it's because you literally tagged every artist there is. So next, we have interact with your community. The best way to get engagement is to be engaged with other accounts. So make sure that you're talking to other people, you're connecting with other people, you're following other people, you're giving content, you're showing love. You're doing everything for other people that you want other people to do on your page. Easiest way to do that, to interact with your community. Next, we have consistency is key. We talked about that a little earlier. Post consistently. TikTok is that's the nature of TikTok. If you want to be successful on this app, you have to post consistently. You can get away on Instagram with posting, once every couple of days. Somebody like me, I don't ever post, to be honest. But you can get away with stuff like that on Instagram, on Facebook. But TikTok, you gotta show the consistency. You gotta post on the daily basis. Um, and the last thing I want to speak on is just don't forget about your other social media. And I say that by saying, don't be afraid to link your TikTok to your Instagram so that when you post on TikTok, it posts on your Instagram as well. You could have followers on Instagram who maybe don't know that you have a TikTok. And so this invites them to your TikTok. Same thing with Facebook. I talk to a lot of producers and a lot of artists, and they just tell me all the time, I link everything. So everything you see on one, you'll see it on all. For some platforms that may not work, right? Like, you do have to remember that TikTok is that short form media, and that's what does best on TikTok. But short form media, I think, works on pretty much every platform. It's long form media that doesn't work on every platform. So a TikTok video will work on Instagram, a TikTok video will work on Facebook, a TikTok video essentially will work anywhere. So make sure you're connecting your TikTok to your other social media platforms.
Yeah, and I would say don't worry too much about um getting kind of like was it like your content getting kind of de-escalated because it doesn't upload natively to Instagram. Like it's you know how the you know how it's you know the Facebook, Instagrams. Like if you upload directly to there, they'll push your stuff. But if
Yeah.
it's a link from somewhere else, so um, but I wouldn't. I would test it out. Test it out. I would say download your TikTok video um or shoot a video before you upload it to TikTok. Upload it natively to Instagram or some other to the other platforms to see if there's any difference in viewership if you really want to get into the technicals of it. Yeah. So
Cool. And then really quickly, I just want to touch on one more thing, and that's regarding how producers and artists can make money on TikTok. And I feel like this is kind of an emerging topic because it wasn't always something that could be done. Um, and so I had to do a little digging because I recently read an article where there's this like guy who had like 2.5 billion views or something on TikTok and like hasn't seen any type of money. And I was like, that is crazy. Billion with a B. That's wild. So I
mhm.
was like, how do you make money as a producer or as an artist or as a creator on TikTok? And TikTok bases their royalty calculations on the number of videos made using your music as opposed to the times the video is watched, which I think is very important because it shows the importance of being consistent in posting. So essentially, 100 videos with no views using a specific sound can technically generate more money than one video with 1,000,000 views.
Mhm.
Like, essentially,
Yeah.
the views kind of don't matter. The TikTok royalties are based on market shares rather than metric views. So to calculate, like, the market shares, TikTok uses a creation, which is when a user selects a release from TikTok's library to make a video, and then the users can then make their own creations inspired by existing creations, all amounting to new creations. I know that sounds weird. I'm going to put the link in the video that I kind of referenced all of this to, and it breaks it down really well. But essentially, every time a user decides to use your music to make a video, that will generate royalty. So, just a little quick blurb on how you can make money as a producer, as an artist on TikTok. Um, we'll definitely make sure to link some of these videos from these resources in the description. But yeah, follow these tips, grow your TikTok presence, be active, be engaged, Be consistent. Be fire.
Hey, hey, yeah. Man, I'm telling you, I'm literally taking notes. Thank the Lord I have access to this doc. I got access to the document. I got the secret codes, Brito's secret
So
codes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Oh yeah. This is all. These are all gems. I think it's gonna be really dope. Testing out what I'm gonna do with all of this information from my TikTok. I'll let y'all know how it goes.
mm, mm. All right. So yeah, that low key wraps up the first episode of NoTv. Super
Hey,
exciting. Kwesi, do you have any announcements before we head on out of here?
Kwesi, do you have any announcements? I always got announcements. Yeah, shout out to everybody who participated in the Firebeat Friday. We host a live event with me, Brittany, and Sick with It, called Firebeat Friday, where you can submit a fire beat. We get a chance to listen to it, give you some feedback. The community can give you feedback. We listen to it on our live stream. Now, if it is fire and it's undeniably fire to everybody, including us three, then it will be pushed into our Firebeat Friday playlist and possibly other playlists, so we can push and get some more, get you some more exposure. And so there's three top favorites. If you make it into the top favorites, you get hit with a few prizes. And so it's usually $200 to $300 worth of prizes one way or another. And so so we recently just did Afrobeat Firebeat Friday, and our next one for the month of July is about to be this summertime West Coast vibes. So the theme is West Coast beats. Just throwing up the dubs right now. Like it's gonna be West Coast. It's gonna be super nice. So we also have beat battles, right? Beat Battle Light is going to be next week, July 6th. Every Wednesday, first and second
Wednesday.
Wednesdays, right? So first Wednesday is Beat Battle Light. Second Wednesday is the official Beat Battle. Those are extremely intense. If you're coming to listen to some really good producers do some really interesting things within the confounds of 1 minute, it's crazy. 60 seconds. It's amazing what some of these producers do when they flex. Firebeat Friday is the second. Firebeat Friday Light is the third Friday of the month, and Firebeat Friday, the official, is always on the last Fridays of the month, which is going to be July 29th this month. So, for the month of July. So,
Cool.
yeah, and then new episode of NoTv. Y'all gonna be getting this weekly. What days?
Mondays.
Oh, dad. She said Mondays.
Hey, you can start your week off right with a little bit of NoTv. You know what I'm saying? Put you in a good mind space to just go out and kill the rest of your week. Wow.
Hey, wow. Yeah, bow.
Wow.
That's that Detroit hard body. Yeah. So hey, big shout out real quick to everyone that supported MBM, which was Music Business Monday, that we did within our Discord. All of y'all folks, y'all know who you are, from Indy to Croc to Jones to Cruff, official, Boca Golf, Young Moscow. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the folks that we've continued to see come to the Discord, and the new folks have been coming in. DJ D Live has been coming in. Agent M's been winning some beat battles. Like we really do have a unique community, so we really invite y'all to join the Discord and connect with us over there. Also, big shout out to the Airbit team. We have a team, man. Shout out to Judah, Sig, Lucy, Nabil.
T, we love you.
T, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Wasim, a lot of people actually have played a role in supporting us in this whole process. And I just want to give a shout out to the whole team, all the Cats Up product as well with Airbit. This is exciting. Britt,
We did it. First show under the belt. This is history, dog.
yeah,
It's a
hey,
monumental moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking it all in, enjoying the moment. But nah, this was super dope. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like we said, every Monday, new episode will be airing on YouTube. Follow all of our social media accounts at We Are Airbit, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Follow our SoundCloud, Audio Mac, Spotify, Rap Chat. We're on all of those things. So check us out. Give us a follow. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.